Hello, and welcome to this episode of Daily Dose of Dan, episode 29. This is going to be a movie review on The Fifth Element, and it's going to be of the Studio Canal version, and I'm going to explain what the differences are between the two. This is what it looks like inside the box. As you guys know, I'm a movie freak, so I love movies. So that's what it comes with on the inside. Now, this is a UK release, so it will play in your US players. There is no region coding on 4Ks. I'm going to pull the information from a website so I don't get it wrong. So I already have the website loaded up. The website says that the film/program grading is a B, video grade is an A, audio grade is an A, and there's not really any extras. When I first got Fifth Element on 4K, I accidentally bought the Sony version, not realizing there was another version either coming or already out. The Studio Canal one is the better version, and I love the Fifth Element movie, so I'm like, I'm not going to settle for second best when I can get the other one. So I'd highly recommend, if you're a movie snob or huge into sci-fi or whatever, to get your hands on a Studio Canal copy while you can. Let's see here. It says that Sony released The Fifth Element on the 4K in the US back in 2017 in honor of the film's 20th anniversary. Now Studio Canal has finally released the film on Ultra HD in the UK, but while the new disc appears to be mastered from the same 4K scan of the original camera negative done by Sony in 2015, this brand new encoding, why does that matter? It's a noticeable better encoding, much cleaner and less noisy looking than the Sony UHD. What's more, the Studio Canal's disc offers a much higher data rate. The Sony presentation was more variable, with a data rate that averaged between 50 to 65 megabits per second. The Studio Canal's disc is almost constantly at 85 megabits per second and ranging with peaks up to 100 megabits per second. Now that sounds really geeky, right? Well, what it is our eyes get used to a certain frame rate, things like that. James Cameron played around with it with Avatar 2. If you play around with the frame rate, you can make certain things look different, and that's kind of where I think they're going with the bits per second. Is that you can't really be like, hey, like the difference between watching. Is there as big a difference between watching a VHS tape versus a 4K? Of course, and it's hugely noticeable. But it also comes around to sound, and this is where it gets into the sound part. The sound on both of these are the same, but they also, not only does this disc include HDR10, it offers Dolby Vision HDR the first time on the disc as well. It also talks about how the dynamic range is restrained, which is good given the film was already vibrant, allowing for true dark blacks and highlights that gleam brightly but falls short just behind the eye reactive. It is, however, just a little bit warmer looking than the Sony grade. So there again, the colors are just going to look warmer. So I would highly recommend getting the Studio Canal if you're a fan of this movie. It's probably never going to look any better than this copy. So I know I had to do a lot of deep dive to find out what the true difference was and everything, and I watched them side by side just to see if I could tell a difference, and I could. So I moved the other one on down the road to somebody else that wanted it, and I kept the Studio Canal version for myself. So if you have any questions about 4K discs, shoot them in the comments. Speaking of the comments, pause the video right now. It'd be a great time to go to the like button, smash that like button, hit subscribe. Big news, we just broke over 800 subscribers, so I'm only 200 short away from being able to monetize the channel, and that's awesome because I want to get you guys the best content I can. Let's see, today's positive message is going to be nothing positive. This is the negative message. No, just joking. Play with that is having a sense of humor. I think people forget to laugh sometimes. It's important. It's important for you to find things that make you laugh, and try to do it on the daily. Laughing helps us relieve stress. It takes you out of that moment of like worrying about something. It's hard to worry and laugh at the same time. So even if it only, am I telling you not to worry about things? No, I can't tell you not to worry because you're going to do it anyway. What I can say is one of my favorite songs, there was a line in it that said, worrying about something is the equivalent of trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubblegum. So I've always had the philosophy of, if you got the energy to worry, you have the energy to do something about what you're worrying about. So take that for what you will. The intro music that I played is by Rethel. She has her own YouTube channel. On YouTube, she did a cover of the song, and I'm going to end this video with the rest of the song. I think we've got another minute worth, and I'll do like a little happy dance at the end of the video like I did with Hunt for October. So I hope you enjoy it.